So Rebecca, so you're the authority, and we're going to lean on you for some advice here today. So we tried to tell everyone the backstory of the little interview we did. I guess what was it, a couple weeks ago? Right after Houston got hit, and we learned all about what you guys were doing to try to help optometrists out. But maybe in your own words, you could tell us what Optometry Cares is all about and what's been happening over the past few weeks.
Mm-hmm. Sure, of course. Optometry Cares, we have a variety of programs. We have Infancy, we have Vision USA, and those three programs are mainly public health programs where we use optometrists and how they can reach out into their community the best. Infancy, we provide free infant eye exams. A lot of those programs have public awareness and education about the importance of comprehensive care. But for Optometry Fund for Disaster Relief, it was created in 2005 after Hurricane Katrina. And since then, we have given away over $500,000. So Optometry Fund for Disaster Relief gets pretty much into full swing whenever a disaster hits, whether it's something as catastrophic as a Hurricane Harvey, or sometimes there's local flooding and things like that need to be addressed. With Hurricane Harvey and Hurricane Irma and now Hurricane Maria, we have seen just back to back to back. It's almost unprecedented since the beginning of this fund to be hit with this many disasters right in a row, affecting so many optometrists and so many communities. So right away, I think Hurricane Harvey was about 4 weeks ago, and since then we have received over 80 applications for support. And we are able to provide optometrists who experience a natural disaster damage to their property, whether it's their home or their practice, with grants up to $4,000. And so we've been already able to provide $170,000 to 50 optometrists, and we have another 30 applications that we're currently processing. We try to get applications processed and a check out the door within a 72-hour period, depending on the time that we receive the application and if we have all the necessary materials we need to process a check.
Yeah, Rebecca, one question. Do the applicants go through their state association to the AOA, or do they go directly to the AOA?
They can do it either way. I would say directly to the AOA, and Optometry Cares will be your quickest point of contact. But if you have any questions or you want to go through your state association, you're definitely more than welcome to. On the application, it will say, have a signature approval by the state executive director. But just to make it as easy as possible for someone who's experiencing an incredible disaster, you can send them to me, and then I will send them on to the executive director for you.
And you indicated that you don't have to be an AOA member to apply for the loan. And that's not a loan. It's
Correct.
It's a grant.
It's a grant.
Outright
It's a grant.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's a complete gift. No strings attached, if you will. And it is open to any practicing optometrist. So when the fund was created, it was to really help the family of optometry, not just AOA members, not non-AOA members, but across the spectrum.
Right, and up on the screen right now, we're actually showing some pictures that you sent us of one particular practice, just to give people a sense of what these floods look like.
My goodness.
Yeah,
yes.
it's remarkable.
Yes. I've talked with several optometrists over the past couple of weeks, and one in particular, he had been in practice for 41 years and was, we're going to retire soon, and his entire practice got completely obliterated with Hurricane Harvey. And everyone that I've talked to about these grants are just so appreciative of just the small amount of financial assistance to kind of, it's like that glimmer of hope that, okay, something good is on the other end. This is not going to last forever. We can get through this. And I'm really proud of the fact that we can get them financial help to get them back on their feet a little quicker before the insurance adjusters and before everything else comes on board.
Sure. And I wonder, one thing that's been concerning me is we haven't heard all that much out of Puerto Rico, and I guess that's because there's no power on the island. Have you heard anything?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have heard. I have heard and read a lot through Facebook and social media. We started, since Hurricane Harvey, we actually started a Optometry Fund for Disaster Relief for students. And since there's an optometry school in Puerto Rico, we've definitely had a lot more contact with the American Optometric Student Association in the creation of this fund, but also being in direct contact with Puerto Rico and with NOVA and with University of Houston. But everyone regarding the school aspect, I have heard is safe. They're slowly getting back into buildings and homes and apartments and things like that. But it looks pretty bleak right now.
Yeah. You mentioned you're waiting for the insurance adjuster. I gave a little soliloquy about when we had a fire, and I left out one very important part, is you do not use your insurance adjuster. You use a public adjuster. And a public adjuster is someone that works for you. And a public adjuster has nothing to do with the insurance company. They work for you. They get a percentage of what they collect from your insurance company. It's designed to protect you from your insurance company, and your broker is not going to help you either. You need a public adjuster to come in.
And I'm sure they're very available, right, Dad? They're not busy at all right now.
Well, but what choice do you have?
Right.
Yeah. Because when you're flooded out this way, you're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars.
No, absolutely.
And the insurance company is going to be looking for every possible angle.
Yep.
To try to not pay you or not pay you in a timely fashion.
Right.
So I'm sorry I digress, Rebecca. Forgive me. So.
No, it's good. It's good. Unless you're expecting a natural disaster or you're living in an area that's especially prone to them. Sometimes you don't think of all those things when you're going through it. So I think little tidbits like that are definitely helpful.
Yep.
Well, what happened to Florida? We kept hearing about Houston. What happened to the ODs in Florida? Did they have?
We have received. We have. The majority right now of applications are coming from Houston. I've received maybe 20 so far from Hurricane Irma, and then from ODs in Florida area. The thing with hurricanes and disasters like this in our fund is sometimes we'll get several. We'll get 10, 15 in the first couple of weeks, but then when we really get the flood of applications is about 3 weeks later, when people are able to actually get their head on their shoulders again, go back into their house or their practice, examine the damage. Okay, what do I need to do now? Where are the steps? What are all the paperwork I need to fill out? So we actually get a lot of requests about 3 to 4 weeks after the fact.
What do they have?
So Irma is just now starting to come in.
What do they have to fill out?
For us, it's just a one-pager. It is a description of the property damage. If you have an estimate of damage, it's just a written-in number. If it's just a best guess, a lot of the applications I've seen are over $500,000 in damages.
Yep.
I think last time I counted, we were over close to $10 million, if not over $10 million in damages that people have sent in on their applications, just adding up their estimated damages.
Wow.
It's over $10 million.
That's crazy. Wow. Well,
yeah.
I guess what do people do if they want to actually submit an application? How do they contact you?
So if you want to go to AOAfoundation.org/OSDR, which is Optometry Fund for Disaster Relief, on there you will find either an online application that you can fill out directly online, or there's a paper form that you can download, and then you can send in to the email address foundation@AOA.org.
Great. And what we'll do is, we're recording all this. We'll put this interview up really quickly, and we'll put those addresses right beneath it so people can see it really, really easily. Oh,
that'd be terrific. I appreciate that.
Great. Well, Rebecca, thanks so much for being here. I wish it could be a happier reason for calling, but I'm glad that you're doing something like this, because you're right. At the very least, it makes people feel like at least somebody's out there pulling for them, right?
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So thanks so much for your time.
Thank you very much.